Whose job is it to improve the world? It can feel like it's inevitable that someone, somewhere, will invent the tech that helps us take the next step forward. But it's not. Technology has the power to improve the world, but it won't. Not without human intelligence, our ideas, our ideals. Technology can help us get there, but it won't show us where to go. That relies on bold ideas and the desire to build a better future. It won't come by asking the same old questions. It isn't tweaking the same old answers. Building a better future can't rely on doing things the way they've always been done. That future can be built by anyone. Anyone ready to think differently. The ones willing to ask, why not? The ones who look, listen, and ask, why can't this be better? Why can't that be you? There's no set vision of the future, our future. It's going to be the one you live in. So who says you can't be part of making a better one? There's no one path to making a breakthrough, and there's no one person responsible. It might start with a thought, an idea, an invention, but there's no innovation without collaboration. It begins when different people bring different ideas and different perspectives together. We need new ways of looking at old challenges, fresh experience examining new problems. It's taking the tools that already exist and asking that one question to deliver results that have never been seen. No one is saying it's easy, but if you think it's not for you, ask yourself, who else can do what you can do? Your experience, your perspective, your ideas will unlock a version of the future. We won't make progress by staying still. We won't improve the world without creating something new. And we can't do that without you. Accenture.
This is How to Land an Apprenticeship. My name's Sophie and I work in the recruitment team here at Accenture. Very pleased to be joined on the call this afternoon by 4 of my colleagues. We have Anthony, who is an associate manager here at Accenture. We have 2 of our current apprentices, Nisha and Sachin. They're going to be talking to you about their experiences so far, and they'll also be answering all of your questions in the Q&A later on. And last but not least, we have Dan, who I work with in the early talent recruitment team. He's going to be talking to you about the apprenticeships that we have available here at Accenture, and he's also going to be giving you the inside scoop on the application process and some hints and tips for applying as well.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for everybody who's managed to join today. As you've been told, my name is Anthony Malumbe. I'm a business agility associate manager. So the question would be, what does a business agility associate manager do? If I give you the strapline, I challenge the status quo to promote an environment of continuous improvement, experimentation, and innovation. So essentially what I do, I'll go to a client and work with the client together with the teams to try to bring value, to bring change, so that they can become more innovative, they can become faster to the market, and help them to generate as much profit as possible. I guess one of the other questions you'd be asking yourself, who is Accenture? Now, Accenture, in a very simple term, it's a professional services company which provides consulting services in a digital technology and operations way. What does that mean? What I'm sure you're asking. So what we'll do is we'll go and ask a company to say, hi, would you like us to improve the way you deliver your digital stuff using digital capability? Do you want to change your operations? We'll provide processes that will help you to improve the operations. Or do you want to use technology, latest cutting, bleeding edge technology to make sure that you are delivering value? If you look at Accenture, we have specialized skills as well, over 40 industries that specialize in strategy, consulting, interactive technology, and operations. And we've got over 624,000 people globally. So can you just imagine that? We are everywhere. We're involved in all those things. So imagine the untapped value that you can get when you join the apprenticeship program. You've got almost 624 people whom you can ask questions to help you. And we're serving clients over 120 in 120 countries. And we always, at this point in time, what we believe is to embrace change. You've seen how change from an environmental perspective has kind of disrupted how things are done. If you look at the COVID, and we believe that we can help clients to write those changes.
Hey, thank you so much, Anthony, for your insights and your story there. What we'll do now is we are going to hear from our current apprentices. So, Sachin, we're going to hand over to you first.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. So, hi guys. My name is Sachin. I'm a second year degree apprentice here at Accenture. I live in London. I've always been based out in London, and I'm studying at the University of East London. And the qualification is Digital and Technology Solutions, and that is a full Bachelor's of Honours. So by the time I graduate, hopefully next year, I would have that full qualification from a good university as well. In terms of, I guess, what I've done for the past year, in terms of my roles, I'm on my third project at the moment. So upon joining, I started as a business analyst for a tier 1 investment bank. So that was very much all around more the functional side of consulting. So requirements gathering, root cause analysis. So there was that aspect of it. And then when I moved over, so you can see it now on the screen, I then moved on to a more technical role, sort of following my passion for data science and machine learning. I moved onto a data scientist role for a big Fortune 500 chemical R&D company. So a completely different industry, completely different role. And we implemented a proof of concept, an AI proof of concept, which was incredible. I was working with a global team. So as Anthony was saying, we have loads of employees around the world. So the client was based out in America, and I was working with guys all across the globe, which was a really good experience. And at the moment, I'm a cloud data scientist and I'm leading the BI project. And you're probably thinking, what does BI mean? That's business intelligence. So we're doing a big cloud transformation, and then we're trying to produce analytics and insights from all this huge data that our client is collecting to try and really add value to their work. So it's very exciting at the moment. And that's within the insurance industry. So again, another industry that's kind of going back to what Anthony was saying. We have loads of clients all across the world and in loads of different industries as well. So you do get that large exposure. And so at Accenture, we also have what we call side of desk activities. So it's what we do outside of our project, outside of our client work, but still within the business. So I'm on the lead team for a functional group within the data science community, because that's an area I'm looking to specialize in. And I'm also an SMF mentor. So I'm currently mentoring a university student, trying to help her land graduate roles and internships. And outside of work completely, I'm a professional DJ, table tennis coach, and I've just recently started writing articles for a publication called Medium. And as you can probably guess, those are also about data science. I'm a bit of a fanatic. So I started writing articles, it's going great. And Accenture in general, I do love my job because it is positively challenging and we do get to solve complex problems for our clients. And like Anthony was saying, no client, no project is the same. They all come with their own, unique challenges, nuances. So, the level of exposure you get is great. And by the end of your 3 years, you can say, you worked across, many different industries, doing, many different roles. So you have that big portfolio you can show, as well as a full bachelor's of honours from University of East London. And Accenture in general, they are very, very supportive in terms of helping you achieve your goals, both professionally and personally. And I don't say that for marketing purposes. I'm a huge fan of the culture here, which is why I genuinely love it here. Everyone is very supportive. We have, industry professionals across all areas. If you're looking to specialize in project management or data science, in my case, you can reach out to anybody. They're more than happy to help and speak to you, at all levels. Even going up to managing director, you have huge support, and Accenture are very good in helping you achieve some of those professional goals. So we like to stay at the forefront of the industry. So new technologies like cloud, blockchain, they're very supportive in helping you achieve certifications. So I've been here a year. I have 2 cloud certifications from Amazon and Microsoft, as well as one in architecture as well, and analytics. And Accenture provided the training, funded my exams. So they were very supportive in that sense. So you're probably thinking, why did you pick doing a degree apprenticeship over university? I did apply through UCAS to other universities as well, so I did have my choice. But I guess for me, wanting to go, I knew I wanted to go into tech. Like Anthony, I did have a passion from a young age also, and I couldn't see how anything could compare to 3 years worth of experience at the top technology consulting firm in the world. With I've got no student debt, loans, anything, and I come out with a full bachelor's degree, which is absolutely amazing. And by the time I'm 21, I would have all this experience, and obviously more than what the PowerPoint shows as well. So I guess it really did. It just made sense to me, and I completely don't regret my decision. Like I said, I really do love it here. But yeah, I think just last thing, I think one of the misconceptions that I know I had when I was, applying was that, apprentices don't get a lot of responsibility. You were doing more admin work, behind the scenes, but that's not true at all. From the offsets, I've been client facing, meaning I've presented to senior clients, the work that I'm doing. I'm now leading teams, and the project, my deliverables are actually making a difference to the client, and I've had, a lot of support in terms of helping me achieve that. So yeah, it's been really great so far. And now I'm going to hand it back over. But thank you guys.
Great, thank you so much for that, Sachin, and for sharing your experience so far. Nisha, we're going to hand over to you now to share yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. So hi everyone, I'm Nisha. I'm going to start off with a bit about myself. I'm 18 years old. I joined Accenture in August 2020. So that means I'm now just at the start of my 2nd year. And my whole experience has been remote. So it's been a wild first year for myself. I'm Edinburgh based up in Scotland. I study at Glasgow Caledonian University. But I've been virtual, so I've not actually been into uni myself. So the course I'm on we call it a graduate apprenticeship. I'm studying software development for business. And the way it works is 1 day a week is my study day. So that's a Monday for me. And then I work 4 days a week. So Monday, I would attend lectures. And then Tuesday to Friday, I'd be working a 9 to 5 role. So the uni course is a full-time course. You only get 1 day a week for it, but it's a full-time course. So it's important that I manage my time well, or I'll spend, weekends catching up on work when there's no need really. But time management is big for the balance of the university and the job. So up here in Scotland, the degree will take you 4 years. But because the work I'm doing in uni is similar to my working day, I feel like it goes by really quick and I don't feel like a student a lot of the time. But that's actually the reason I decided to go into a graduate apprenticeship, is the fact that technology is so much better to learn. It's so much better to learn hands-on, and it's just changing, evolving every day massively. And I definitely believe apprentice is the best route to get into a technology position, just because I'm a practical learner. I learn when I'm actually doing it instead of just studying it. So moving on, my day-to-day role is I'm a Java developer. So Java is a language that I only learned when I started Accenture. But all apprentices undergo something called boot camp, and this is training to make sure everyone's at the same level. There's when I started, there was about 30 different of us. Some had been to college, some had been working, some had been from school, and but we all started at the same level with the same tasks and projects to work on in Java, which brought us all up to the same speed, which was really helpful for myself being not knowing anything about it. And that's one of the reasons I'm really glad I chose Accenture, because I was worried I wasn't going to get enough training. I joined Accenture from school, and I was worried that everybody else was going to have more experience than me. But Accenture's training was relevant, very, very, very extensive, and you feel really set for the job before getting a role. So before starting my client role, we get this time where if there's not a team set for you, you'll be unassigned for a little while. And while I was, as we say, unassigned, I was working with Accenture's innovation team. So they're a team that basically create new software and create ideas for new software. But I was working on an application that was submitted in the Global Technology Innovation Contest that Accenture runs for their employees, where employees will submit an idea if they've got a creative idea that could potentially help our clients. And I was working on an application for that, not an application that was submitted in that and came third. And on that team, I was networking, and I found someone who needed a Java developer in the team. So that's how I got my client role. But I'm quite lucky, as if my day-to-day role with my client gets quite quiet, or the client demand isn't that busy, then I get to go back to that innovation team and carry on working on that software and develop the idea to reality. And it's a great learning experience for me, as machine learning is something I want to go into. It's great to see sort of this idea and implement it. Aside from my day-to-day role, we have side of desk, as Sachin said, and I work with the Tech for Good team. So we develop charity websites for charities across the UK, and obviously there's a lot of web developers in Accenture, and we get volunteering days at Accenture, so we can take some time off and just work on developing websites. That's what I choose to do for my volunteering time. So why do I love this job? Is really because technology is different, but every day in this job is so different. And obviously I love coding, that's why I chose this job. But the support from Accenture is absolutely amazing, from the team, the managers, other apprentices who are higher than me. It just makes the experience so much more enjoyable, having a great support system around you. And the reason I love Accenture itself is because of the variety of areas. As we said, we're massive. There's so much to do here. There's so much to learn, so many people you can talk to. I can talk to other apprentices that I started with, and some of them are in business analyst roles, some of them are in project management roles, others are in web development, I'm in Java development. And it's just so crazy that if whatever you want to do, Accenture will support you and give you training to do what you want to do, and hopefully get you in a role where you're going to be comfortable. But the whole program is just so enjoyable, because you get that life of being a student and the life of working a 9 to 5, actual being in the industry, seeing how it's evolving. And that's why I think the program is so amazing. So before I finish off, I'll give you a bit of advice. If you're going to apply to Accenture, I would say show that you can show time management, because it's just massive. You're going to need to manage your time studying and working. You don't get all the time in the world to study. So definitely show you've got a passion for technology, because everybody at Accenture has a passion for technology, no matter if you've loved it from the day you were born to if you just want to learn it. You have to show that you're going to commit to learning what's going on in the technology world. And that is all from me today. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be happy to answer any questions in the Q&A, and I'll pass back to Sophie.
Great, thank you for that, Nisha, and thank you for the great advice at the end there as well. Like Nisha said, if anyone does have any questions for her or for Sachin or for Anthony, please do pop them in the chat, as we'll be coming to the Q&A shortly. But before that, I'll now hand over to Dan, who's going to talk about our opportunities and the application process. So over to you, Dan.
Thanks very much, Sophie, and hi, everyone. It's great to hear so many good things so far already about our apprenticeships at Accenture, from the contribution and the impact that our apprentices make to the support and all the learning that they get. If a career in technology is where you can actually gain a degree and learn on the job is what you're looking for, then Accenture could definitely be a place for you. And we actually have 5 different locations throughout the UK where we offer apprenticeships. If you are successful at securing an apprenticeship with us, you will need to be based in or near the location that you've applied for, but you might be asked to travel to other locations if needed from time to time. For all 5 locations, the name of the degree that you'll get is actually the same, which is a degree in Digital and Technology Solutions. You'll spend, as Sachin and Nisha has already mentioned, you'll spend 1 day a week at university, whether virtually or in person, and 4 days a week doing learning on the job, basically from experts at Accenture, getting that really useful hands-on work experience for the other 4 days of the week. But even though the name of the degree is the same, there are slight differences in the area that you'll be specializing in based on the location that you have applied for. And the entry requirements are also a little bit different from location to location. So let me just go down the list on the slide that you can see in front of you now, just to explain some of the slight differences. So first of all, in London, the specialization is IT consulting. So still very much focused on IT, and you'll definitely be learning lots around coding, programming, all the kind of exciting, innovative technologies that we work with at Accenture as well. So definitely a techie role, but also with a bit of a focus on project management, for example, or business analysis. So definitely within IT and technology, but with a bit of a consulting focus. And the training provider there is the University of East London. It will take about 3 years for that program, for that apprenticeship program, and the entry requirement for that is 80 UCAS points. For Warwick, the specialization is more in data analysis, so data analyst is the specialization or the specialism. Again, it will be really techy. There will be elements of all the kind of, again, innovative technologies that we'll be working with and very tech focused, but also with an emphasis on data analysis for that degree during your apprenticeship. And it will take sort of 3 years as well. And again, you will need 80 UCAS points for that. Moving on to Newcastle, the specialism there will be software engineering or cybersecurity. So most opportunities will again be in software engineering, but there will also be some opportunities to specialize in cybersecurity if that is an area that you are interested in. So for Newcastle, really quite a technical apprenticeship, and people who are really keen on learning on the technical elements to be considered for that apprenticeship. And the training provider there is Newcastle College University, and it'll take 2 or 3 years. We do have what we call an accelerated degree program in Newcastle. If you already have A-levels or a level 3 BTEC or an equivalent to that within computer science or something similar, something techie, then it might take you just 2 years. But if you do not have level 3 or A-level equivalent knowledge or background in a computer science or something similarly technological, then it will take you the 3 years. For Newcastle, the entry requirement is just GCSEs in maths and English, sort of grade C or above. So we do have some people joining in Newcastle from GCSE level and above, basically. And Manchester, the specialism is software engineering. The training provider is BPP University. It takes 3 years. And for that, you will need an A-level or a BTEC or an equivalent level 3 qualification to be considered. And finally, and definitely not least, Edinburgh, again, a specialism in software engineering. So quite technical again. And currently the training provider there is Glasgow Caledonian University, and it will take sort of 3 or 4 years for you to complete that apprenticeship with us. And for for what you need to be considered for that or to apply is Scottish Highers or equivalent, or your SCQF level 6+ qualification. Next, I'm just going to briefly talk about how to apply for an apprenticeship and the application process. So if we just move on to the next slide, you'll see that there are kind of 4 main stages for our application process for our apprenticeships. First of all, you apply online, so you provide a digital application. You don't really submit a CV or a cover letter or anything like that, but you do provide information about yourself. So in the end, it's similar information that you would provide than what you would do if you were to complete a CV or a covering letter, essentially. So we just want to know a lot about you and kind of what you're interested in, what your passions are. So you provide like a digital applications as the first step of your application process. And then you go on to what we call our discovery portal. Essentially, it's a very interactive portal or tool where you actually complete your online assessment, and it'll talk you through different activities to do, most of which are kind of analytical focused, but it's really interactive. So there'll be videos, there'll be interactive elements, and you'll learn about what we do with Accenture. And as we are showing you through all that sort of stuff, you will be answering some questions as you go along. So that's step 2. The discovery portal is really our kind of online assessment of you. And then after that, if you are successful at that stage, you'll go on to the assessment center. And there's different things involved in the assessment center, and that could range from doing a face-to-face interview. It could be face-to-face in person, but most recently, and for the last couple of years, and probably for the foreseeable future as well, it will be more like a virtual interview. There will also be a paired exercise, which you will complete with one other person. There will be multiple individual exercises to complete as well. Some of them really, again, very interactive. So an interactive opportunity for you to actually really showcase your passion for technology, your interest in Accenture, and why you want to work for us, basically. So yeah, that third stage will be the assessment center. And then finally, if you do pass that stage, we will come on to the technical interview. Don't let the technical interview, the word technical, put you off. We completely know that people who join Accenture at this level as an apprentice do not have lots and lots and lots of technical knowledge about technology and programming languages and coding. So we won't be testing you on what you know about certain programming languages, but we will definitely just be looking out for that passion for technology and that real interest for it, to be able to see that, this is someone that really wants to work with really cutting edge technology and make a strong impact for our clients at Accenture. So in a nutshell, that is the application process. If you'd like to know more about the application process itself, please, again, pop some questions in the chat and we'll answer them shortly in the Q&A. We are also holding some application-specific events